Welcome to More Wealth Retirement Talk, where finance meets fun.
Join financial expert Shawna Moore,
sports analogy pro and dad joke king Dave Moore,
and Jacqueline Gladhill, who keeps us all on track
as we break down retirement planning with insights,
laughs,
and a whole lot of more wisdom.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome back to More Wealth Retirement Talk. I'm Dave Moore, excited to be here as always. Spring is officially here, which means one thing. Baseball season is back. And I've already started planning which, meetings I'm going to skip out on. I'm just saying, depending on the baseball schedule.
Skip out on?
Well, yeah. Baseball takes priority.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dave, by reschedule, do you mean completely disappear from the office with a hot dog in your hand and maybe a beer by the third inning?
It would be, yes. It'd be like Ferris Bueller. Shawna's going to turn on the TV and see me in the stand, a hot dog and a beer.
You know it, Jacqueline.
Well, hey, sometimes you got to prioritize what matters, Hey, nothing says financial discipline like sneaking out early for a ball game, right?
I guess if you say so. But, if anyone from the office is listening, we know exactly where Dave will be. But seriously, we do love this time of year. We are a baseball family. And also, spring, it feels like fresh start. Honestly, after the kind of market volatility we've been seeing lately, I think a lot of people are ready for that reset and baseball. I'll give you that.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, as much as we are excited about baseball, I think I'm excited for this episode too and to dive right in. So let's get into it. Last week, we spent talking about what's been happening in the markets, really the ups, the downs, and why it's been making people a little feeling uneasy and pretty emotional. It's heavy.
It is. And we've spoken with a lot of our clients. And, today we just kind of want to shift gears a bit because at some point it's not just about, what's happening in the market. It's about what do you actually do with that information?
And look, volatility is always going to be a part of the game. The real question is, are you positioned in a way where it actually impacts your life or just makes for an uncomfortable headlines?
Exactly. Good point. So we have 4 things we're going to talk about as far as what smart investors can do now. The first one is that they reassess their investments and their portfolio instead of reacting. So one of the biggest things that we see during times like this is that people want to react quickly, sometimes out of fear, sometimes out of frustration. And we understand that's completely human, that's completely normal. But, the clients who tend to have the most confidence right now, they're not reacting emotionally. They're taking a step back, taking a deep breath and reassessing their strategy. So what I would ask you is this. If your plan only feels good when markets are going up, how confident can you really be in it in the long term? Because they're not always going to go up.
Those are great questions, Shawna. Well, on to number 2. They focus on income and not just returns. We have a lot of conversation where people say, well, I've averaged this return or my portfolio has done really well over time. And that's great. But retirement isn't about averages. It's truly about consistency. It's about knowing what's coming in month after month, regardless of what the market's doing.
Absolutely, Jacqueline. And, we've had a lot of conversations again recently, but one couple that we met with that came in, new clients, they'd done an incredible job saving. They had a strong accounts. They had great discipline saving over the years. But when we walked through their income plan, that from the previous advisor, there were some big question marks tied directly to market performance. And that's where volatility really exposes things if you don't have a true income plan in place and you don't have proper diversification. So a better question might be, if the market dropped tomorrow, say it drops 20%, would your income be able to stay the same or would your lifestyle have to adjust?
Number 3, they get proactive about taxes. This is one of those areas that doesn't always get enough attention, but it can have a massive impact.
Yes. And we spend a lot of time helping clients think through tax strategy, not just what happens at tax filing. We're not talking about filing your taxes, but tax strategy and planning, how decisions today affect what they pay over the next 10, 15, or 20 years. And we're actually expanding that support. We've partnered with a firm that will be offering tax filing services starting ahead in the 2026 tax season for next year. But even more important than that is the planning that happens ahead of time.
Yeah, because once you're filing, most of the decisions have already been made.
So the question becomes, are you being intentional about your tax strategy now or just hoping it works out later?
Exactly. And then number 4, they protect what they've built. So this is the part that sometimes gets pushed aside because it's not as exciting as investing, but it is just as important. And what we're talking about are things like long-term care planning, life insurance, protecting your spouse, making sure that if something unexpected happens, that your plan still holds together.
And here's something we've seen 1,000 times where people can do everything right financially, but one health event can change everything.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, it truly doesn't take much. And it's not something that people like to think about because it's really sad, but it's something that you have to account for.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, this isn't just about numbers. It's about people. It's about making sure the plan works no matter what life throws your way. I think that's why this time of year is so fitting. Spring naturally makes you want to clean things up, get organized, and get a fresh start.
Yes. And financially, this is a great time to do that. Not necessarily because something is wrong, maybe it's not, but because you just want to make sure that everything is aligned and nothing's been overlooked. Sometimes it's those small adjustments now have the biggest impact and make the biggest difference later.
Absolutely. So to take a quick pause on all this, I really, really want to bring up a special event and, keeping things aligned is what we're talking about. So we've got something really special coming up next week and we're really excited to share with you.
Yes, we are hosting a women's retirement event right here in Gallatin at the Gallatin Library. And this is something that's very close to my heart. We've done many of these in the past, but we're doing our first one out in Tennessee. And it's designed specifically around the financial realities that women face, whether you're married, single, divorced, or widowed, because those experiences they can be different than what men experience, but they can really shape retirement in very different ways. And we want to have that space for women to come in and be able to ask the questions that are top of mind for them.
Absolutely. And it's needed. And what we found is that a lot of women are doing a great job saving, but still have questions that they, really haven't had the chance to fully explore or really have someone to ask.
Exactly. So we're going to be at these events next week. We have 2 of them. We're going to be walking through some key areas that can have a major impact on your future, things that often don't get addressed in typical planning conversations. We're going to be talking about Social Security, investments, your pensions, and things like that. So, if, as a woman, if you found yourself wondering, am I really as prepared as I should be? Or would I feel confident handling everything on my own? If you are married and if something were to happen to your spouse, this is a great opportunity to get some clarity and peace of mind.
And if you're listening today and something we talked about is sticking with you, maybe it's the income piece, maybe it's taxes, maybe it's just wanting a second opinion.
And that's exactly why we offer a complimentary discovery call. It's simply a conversation. There's no pressure. There's absolutely zero obligation. There's no rush. We'll just walk you through where you are today, what you're trying to accomplish or what your concerns are, and help you identify potential gaps or opportunities to improve your portfolio and your retirement outlook.
Absolutely, Shawna. And sometimes it's truly not about making big changes. It's just about making sure that everything is working together and all the pieces are going together inside of a big puzzle.
So if any of this resonates with you, or you just feel like your retirement plan may need a fresh set of eyes, you can reach us at 833-4MY-WEALTH to schedule a complimentary review or second opinion.
Or you can also visit us at our website. That's morewealthtalk.com. That's MOORE, morewealthtalk.com.
And don't forget, you can follow More Wealth Retirement Talk on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music.
And be sure to connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn for more content and updates.
Also, don't forget, if you like a complimentary copy of my book, Retire with More, just give us a call and we'll be happy to send a copy out to you. At the end of the day, this is about more than just your portfolio. It's about having clarity. It's about having confidence and a plan that truly supports the life that you want to live. Well, thank you everyone so much for joining us. We're so glad to have you here today.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Right here on More Wealth Retirement Talk.
Thanks for tuning in to More Wealth Retirement Talk with Shawna,
Dave,
and Jacqueline.
We hope you enjoyed the mix of financial insight,
sports wisdom,
and a few dad jokes along the way.
Join us next week for more ways to plan smart,
laugh often,
and retire with confidence.
Advisory services are offered through More Wealth Partners, LLC, an investment advisory in the state of Tennessee. Insurance products and services are offered through More Wealth Management, LLC, an affiliated company.